inspiration was, being Italian and wanted to see Italian American community be accepted for more than other things. So you know what it is, right?
That's right.
Nice.
So that's one of the.
How did you get into? How did the Regal business even come about? I mean, what were you doing before that, and then how did you?
I went to Manly High School.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of Brothers, Battles and Bounty, where family, business, and your future success converge. I'm your host. I'm Andreas.
I'm Stefan.
I'm Martin.
I'm Anton.
Yes, Jerry Saviano.
Yes, and we have a special guest today. Our topic today is going to be strategic partnerships. And our special guest I'd like to introduce, he has a long list of achievements, so this might take a while. I'm going to read from this because just forgive me for reading. It's just the way I think this is the best way to do it because there's so much here. So today we have the privilege of welcoming Jerry Saviano, a distinguished entrepreneur and community leader. Born to Italian-American parents, Daniel and Mary Saviano, in Chicago's historic Taylor Street neighborhood, Jerry's journey embodies dedication and resilience. Alongside his partners, Irving Cohen, Chuck Rosenberg, they founded Regal Manufacturing Company, transforming it over the past 5 decades into a benchmark for high-quality, hand-upholstered furniture in the United States. Their products grace numerous establishments nationwide, including renowned venues like Luminati's, Gold Coast location, and Buena Beef restaurant chain. Beyond his business acumen, Jerry has been a steadfast supporter of the Italian-American community. His extensive involvement includes serving on the board of directors for the National Italian-American Sports Hall of Fame for 2 decades.
That's awesome.
Participating in the Chicago Italian-American Charitable Organization and contributing to the Cavaliers for Villa Scalabrini.
Good job.
In recognition of his unwavering commitment, he was honored as the Italian-American Executives of Transportation Man of the Year. He's also a 20-year member of the Amateur Hockey Hall of Fame, which he became the first inductee.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Jerry's personal life is equally inspiring. His wife, Ginny, celebrated their 63rd wedding anniversary, June of 2024. And they are both the proud parents of 2 sons, Danny and Vince, who have joined the family business, ensuring its amazing legacy. So with that, welcome, Jerry. We greatly appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Holy cow.
Yes.
You slip them $20 for that?
And with all that, I ran a business, which I have no idea how we did it.
Raised a family, ran a business. I mean, amazing.
All the other charitable organizations.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm just curious. You played hockey?
No.
Oh, okay. You were in the hockey.
I was.
No, Danny was big hockey.
Yeah, Danny. My sons were both hockey. Danny was hockey. I was on. I started the Franklin Park Hockey Association.
Okay.
We had about 500 kids, from
Wow.
mites all the way up to juniors, and I ran that program for a long time, and I got put on the national board, not the national board, Illinois board, and they gave me the honor of being on the suspension committee. So I had all these kids who were cracking each other over the head with hockey sticks, mostly Italians. I had to suspend them. So that was an event.
That's awesome. I'd like to start out, if I may. Your community engagement as a parent, and I mean, you've done it, like you said, a lot. What was the inspiration behind your dedication to Italian-American organizations?
Well, I'm an Italian-American. That's number one. Number two, most of my friends were all involved. In 1977, I became a board member of the Hall of Fame with George Randazzo, and was a great idea. We had 32 chapters all over the country, which I was involved with.
It's big.
And it escalated to really big things, and I was, when you do that, then the other organizations call you, get on our, become a member of that. And, but, inspiration was, being Italian and wanted to see the Italian American community be accepted for more than other things. So what it is, right?
That's right.
Nice.
So that's one of the.
How did you get into? How did the Regal business even come about? I mean, what were you doing before that, and then how did
I
you?
worked. I went to Manly High School, and Manly High School was a trade school on Sacramento and Polk, and they had a upholstery shop. And me and my teacher, Chester Garbard, a Polish kid, he was great, and he taught me everything I know how to upholster. And I was doing it on the side. I was going to school, working at Sears on Holman and Arlington, and then upholstering chairs at night. And this one place who sold foam rubber on the Green Street in Chicago, they said, "You're looking for a job?" I said, "Well, I was going to go work at Sears. They had an upholstery shop, but they were booked." So I went to 4600 on Lincoln Avenue. It was called Chair King. That's where I met Chuck and Irv. And I ran that, and then we got out of there. We went on Irving Park and Kimball, and that's when we started Regal Manufacturing on Irving Park and Kimball.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
How old would you have been when you went to the Chair King? How old would you approximately?
18.
So you were a kid.
Yeah. And then I know you guys will appreciate it. I got a call from in St. Charles, not Daystrom.
Howell
Got a call from Howell to go work for them.
in St. Charles.
So I was on Taylor Street. It took me forever to go.
Hour and a half.
I had no idea where St. Charles, Illinois was. No idea. And I said, I just can't, I can't do it. So I stayed there, and we became partners in '63, and I bought them all out. But that's
How long were you guys partners? I mean, how long?
Well, Irv, we started together, and Chuck left. I'd say about in the after on Roosevelt, not on Roosevelt, before Roosevelt, in the '80s he left. He had a dinette store or whatever. We bought him out. And I stayed with Irv. Irv was a great guy. You guys know Irv.
Yeah, I
We
know
know
Irv.
Irv.
I
Irv
worked
was
with
with you
Irv
for a
a
long
lot.
Great
time.
partner. Yeah,
Excuse me for my ignorance, but either are they both still around?
No,
or-
they're both dead. They were 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were from the west side of Chicago, Marshall High School. They were two good guys.
Awesome.
So we have a lot of entrepreneurs that are watching the podcast. There were three of you. How did you set up the structure? What was your role? What was their role to balance?
Yeah.
Because you guys are wildly successful.
yeah.
What
I
was
ran
the-
production. It
Okay.
was quite, and I designed everything. See some of the buckets you see today, I designed them all.
Yeah.
Copied some of them, but like we all do.
Yeah.
And Irv ran the books,
Okay.
and Chuck was kind of like a Sid Sales, and that worked out. And Bernie came on just for the. We manufactured cushioned toilet seats at that time, and it was successful. I laugh. Somebody had to do it, and it was very good until China came in and just blew us out of the water.
Yeah.
So
How many
When would
years?
that have been? When did China come in for the?
that would have to be in the. Let's see. I moved out of there in '90. It would have to be in the '80s.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They
Wow.
I mean, I was selling them for $10-12 a piece.
For how many years? How
I'd say
long was
about
it?
7, 8 years, 10
Oh,
years. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
a good run.
It was all automatic, press, heat sealed, and boom, boom, boom. So easy. But they undercut me by big money.
It
And
was probably Taiwan,
Yeah.
not China mainland.
Probably
At that time.
Taiwan, yeah.
It would have been Taiwan in the 80s.
then I started doing the, like you guys do, the embroidery.
Right.
I started embroidering, flowers
Custom-
and stuff.
custom
Yeah.
Some stuff.
They
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
do that, China. So, they could do it, but you got to buy it, And
How did you get in contact with Trendler? Did we contact you? Did you find us, or what
Well,
drove?
Chuck was involved
what-
with it too.
How did?
No, I think your
what was
dad
that?
contacted us because we were strictly upholstering at that time, and I started messing around making buckets
Okay.
and just making them, taking them from other people. And I think Waco was around then. I took one from him and whatever, and we needed a frame to bases, see, and then we started making dinette sets.
I remember
I
that.
don't know if you
Nice.
guys remember. We had 6 stores at one time. Dinettes.
You guys had
I
stores?
didn't know that.
I didn't.
I didn't know that either.
Niles. We had them all over.
What
were
was
the
the name
name?
of them? Yeah.
It was Chair something. What the hell was the name of it? We didn't last too long.
Well, that's
I can't
amazing.
remember
I
the
never
name.
knew.
So then
Wow.
guys took
Yeah.
them all over.
Yeah, we were on Irving Park, 3400 on 3418 at Irving Park. That's where we had the showroom.
Yeah.
And we sold dinettes there. We had a place in Niles, one in
That's
South
fascinating.
Side,
Wow.
Wow.
one on Highland and Roosevelt.
Yeah.
That's when Chuck was a partner there. I didn't even know it. We didn't know it. Me and Herb didn't know it.
Yeah.
With can't remember the guy's name, the big guy.
Oh, in Lombard?
Yes.
Steve,
No.
the other guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
That was
know.
on Irving Park?
Yeah, the gambler.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
No, it was on
Yeah, yeah.
Roosevelt and Highland.
He used to have all the
Yeah.
football
that's
bets.
Dinette
Yeah, yeah,
Center
right.
There's the
or
book- there's the-
Dinette
oh my-
Center.
Yeah.
Is it Dinette
Football
Center?
bets.
Dinette
Or
something.
Dinette World?
Yeah,
Dinette World. That's what it
Well,
was.
Shelley.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shelley
No, Shelley
That's-
was on Central.
is another bookie, right?
Yeah, if I,
yeah,
I'll
we'll
think
think
of
of
his
it.
name.
We'll
I'm
think of it.
terrible with names.
I know who you're
lately.
talking about.
Yeah, but anyway, we had all, and then we were feeding them and all that, and
Yeah.
we couldn't handle it. It just
Yeah.
it was
So,
much.
so with the interest of the topic, strategic partnerships. So Trendler started in '62. You started in '63.
Yeah.
You've had kind of a lot of things happen throughout
yeah.
that time. There was a fire, multiple fires that devastated
Yeah,
things.
had to do-
There was Chapter 11 reorganization.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
well in 67, 68, the big snowstorm was 67. I think it was right after we had a fire. We lost. It was on 4700 on Washington.
yeah.
Yeah, and we just burned to the ground.
Oof.
Yeah, and we just had some office. Next door was a delivery service. They gave us an office, and we could at that time there was nothing around to buy. We found this building on 21st and Canalport.
Oh, yeah.
It was about 50,000 square feet, but it was terrible.
Multi-floors with the
Yeah.
elevator and all
But
that.
that was it.
Yeah, I
it was all
remember that.
available at that
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
and so we took it, and we used it.
You were there a long time.
70 to 90.
Okay,
Yeah.
20 years.
Wow.
I used to go there all the time to pick up my stuff. That's
Yeah.
how I know.
Andy.
Climbing up
Yeah.
and down on the dock
Yeah.
there and stuff.
And
what?
we
You
sold
had
it.
another tough time that was in the late 70s, early 80s
That
or
was
something,
in,
because I
when
remember I was
Martin Luther
involved
King
with that.
got killed.
Ah,
Okay, shot or whatever. He got killed, and I had about 40 employees at that time.
Wow.
wow.
And
Oh, that's
Hispanic,
good.
black.
Yeah.
They were, and we got along okay. There was some fights, but they wanted the day off or whatever. They wanted it off to go to church. I said, fine, that's good with me. Well, they all wound up at a tavern. I got pissed.
Well,
I
that's
said,
after church.
they didn't go to church. They went to the tavern. They all got bombed and all this shit. So I let some of them go.
Okay.
They went to the NLRB. Okay.
National Labor Relations Board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they came to me and they said, you can't do what you did. And bop, 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 bop. Here comes the union in. Want to form a union with me. Cost me at that time $25,000 to fight it.
Whoa.
But I had some connections with some unions, and they kind of washed
Nice.
it out. It was a bad union.
Yeah.
And upholstery is a bad union.
Okay.
And
Oh,
and
my
that put
God.
me back. And I got to tell you this, okay? When I went into reorganization, your dad and maybe about 5 other companies, they went along with me.
Yes, I remember
They went
that.
along with me. I was giving them a little over on
Yeah.
the product, but they went along with me, and that really helped me. A couple other companies that went,
Yeah, I remember that time
Nationally.
and everything,
yeah,
and coming to us and
it was
stating
hard.
a fact and everything like that. How we going to do it? And I just remember my dad and you, both of you guys, hey, this is what I can do.
Yeah.
And my dad sitting there talking with you, okay, we'll do that. And you guys followed it. You honored it.
Yeah.
And if you couldn't make
Yeah.
1 week or whatever,
Yeah.
you called.
Yeah.
You called us and told us. And
Those were
It
things
was
were done
No
with a
written
handshake.
agreement.
no,
No, the handshake
no
went-
written agreement.
Irv wanted out. Irv wanted out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he wanted out. He says, I says, listen, what are you going to do?
Tough times. Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I
So
going to
the
do?
risk.
Drive
So
a truck?
how many years?
Very
is-
honorable.
How
That's-
many years has Trendler been doing business with Regal?
Since 62.
63.
63.
60 plus years.
We should go check the computer, make sure they're all paid up.
I did just before we came here. Yeah. We're all
You know,
good.
as you guys know, your accountant knows, or whatever it knows, you get a 17-year reprieve, you know.
Statute of limitations.
After 17 years, it becomes profit.
Nice.
And you have to pay tax.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Amen.
That's
They
fun.
get you one way or the other.
You guys, it worked
Yeah.
out really
Well,
well.
it was,
and
it
it
was
really
either that
brought
or
us
fold up.
together. Yeah.
You know, we owed you a lot of money at the time.
Hey, we needed you guys too. Okay, so it was a mutual deal.
The swivel
we needed
basis
each other.
shared the,
Yeah, we
was
needed
an
each other.
033 in the number. I don't know what to call
So,
it.
so
250.
because he's not here anymore, our dad
Yeah.
obviously passed
Yeah.
away 2015. Love him. Miss him.
oh, Dad.
What do you remember? You interacted. Tell us a little bit of what you can think
Well,
of. What
he-
it was like dealing with my dad, business, personal, whatever you want to.
Yeah, he was just a great guy. He was always laughing and telling jokes, and you know, he was never really serious and all that. And shit, going back 50, 60 years, you know, it was he would come mostly by us. We never went by him.
Yeah.
I think we went one time by him to see what we were
Yeah.
going to do and all that. And he had another partner, which I don't want to talk about.
Thank you.
And but you guys were very easy to work with. You still are. I mean, it was a good relationship. We did some business with National, of course.
Yeah.
Some of the friends that you made some stuff that National made,
Yeah.
Yep.
and on and on and on, and
Yeah.
different items that we come up with, metal items that you guys did, arms, you know.
Yeah, 54 arm, the
Right.
36 arm.
And all those arms that you made, you know,
A
so-
lot of them.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, the
I know.
dinette business was
Yeah.
good.
And it was just ideas that we saw, you know, like, you know, today you see an idea and it was a little easier then. For some reason, you know, it was just a little easier. You didn't make a product. You were hungry and I was hungry.
Yeah.
Now you're not hungry. You don't
Yeah,
care.
we're
anymore.
still
Yeah.
Anyway, it's close to lunch. I'm all right. What do you mean? Take it easy.
Yeah.
No, we can't do that. Yeah, we can't. But Dad, he made, you know, everything.
You never said no.
No, never said
Right?
no.
He just-
He didn't know how he was going to do it when he said yes, but
Yeah,
he
he,
said
he
yes.
did it. He did it. And we come together on a price and all that. And that was you were on Hoyne. That's right.
Yeah.
When did you move here?
We moved here in '97.
Oh yeah. So we
But we moved before that from Hoyne. We moved in 1973 to Kilbourne, 45.
that's what I remember. Kilbourne.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, on Kilbourne Avenue.
Yeah.
And then in '97,
Yeah.
we
Moved to
came
here,
here over here at
Yeah,
50.
I thought it was
on-
Kilburn,
51st Street.
yeah.
Yeah, so
I
you're
couldn't-
talking about it was easier back then. I not to refute what you're saying, but it's almost like when you're younger starting a business,
Yeah.
it's easier because you're just doing with what you got. And then once you get smart, now all of a sudden everything's
You were hungry.
challenging. You got to think about
We
it
were
too
so
much.
hungry. I'd wake up at 2:00 in the morning and go to the office and design a chair.
Yeah.
That's the way I mean, that's, you know, crazy things, you know,
Yeah.
you look at all these chairs and, but that's when we first, it was only buckets. We used to make, you know, us and Dynachrome.
Right.
Dynachrome.
Yeah,
Wow.
we were like, we weren't that far apart. They were on 22nd.
You talk
So-
about stress just real quick, so just you sparked a memory. My dad used to tell a story when it first started, same stories like, oh my gosh, are we going to make it?
Yeah.
He used to go onto the roof. He smoked cigarettes. He was a chain smoker at the time. He'd be on the roof and just smoking and thinking and
and-
figuring what's next, what's going to happen. But
It was a
So-
flat
so-
roof, by the way.
Thank God.
So we've been talking
That
about
was
the
easy.
past,
Yeah.
okay? I'm curious, Jerry, because of your experience and different things. What do you see
Mm.
coming?
Mm.
What's next? What are the opportunities for our business?
Well, you know, you go over the years. You know, I can remember when the bases first came out. The
KD.
Had a
KD
KD
bases.
bases.
Yeah, I mean, we were a ton of
210
Yeah.
we had a
KD.
table
Did a
bases.
ton.
We made tables, this and that, and then I think what if I remember right after that came wrought iron.
Yeah.
And we started getting wrought iron even from what's his name?
Royal?
Oh, the
Royal?
Hungarian guy.
Burke.
Who was the,
Burke.
the Hungarian guy.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Used to make the
South
fences.
side. Used to make
Right.
used to make. Then he came bases. Then we started making
Burke, yes.
table swivel base and all that. And you guys made some wrought iron with a back. I can't remember what it was. That lasted 6, 7, 8 years. And then brass came in.
Right.
And with
Oh,
Kel
right,
style, everything was
brass.
brass, and we started making everything in brass.
Mm-hmm.
54 arm and all
Yeah,
that other
all
stuff.
that
All
brass.
brass,
All that,
all brass, yeah.
Yeah.
Then chrome came in, and the 50s came in. It went on and on. Today, right now, the thing that I see, the buckets are unbelievable. You know that.
Yeah,
With the
awesome.
four-legged bases. We didn't have a four-legged base years ago. We had one from Arnold.
Yeah.
Remember Arnold?
Yeah, I do.
In
I
Indiana,
do.
which was a cheap base, terrible. The Queen Anne base was a bad, but the crossover was terrible.
Yeah.
And then after that, well, now I see the buckets, and then they're going to go back to four-legged frames, I think, and different.
Classy.
If you look at the
tradition.
commercials
Yeah.
on TV,
Okay.
that's the trend. Whatever they come up with, that's if you see what they are. Now, the last 2 years, it's all buckets. If you've
Yeah,
seen buckets,
100%.
even on talk shows,
Yeah.
they sit
The
on
nice
buckets.
trim line ones. At least.
Yeah,
There's some of
slim.
the bigger ones, but mostly smaller
Right.
little.
Yeah, but you got to remember, in our business, commercial, you got to have strong. They got to be strong. Otherwise,
So when Irv was the last partner you had,
Yeah.
then you were by yourself.
no. What happened was, I knew Vince wanted to come in.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
That was 2005.
Vince is your oldest,
Youngest.
youngest son.
Youngest.
He wanted, I know. So I sat down with Irv, and I said, "What do you?" He said, "I'm about ready." He was about 78, 77, 70.
Old guy, huh?
Yeah, he was an old guy. And he was a mensch. He was a classy guy.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
so
he
he
was.
stayed for another year with Vince. And then,
Now both of your sons have been with you, Danny and Vince, for how many years now together?
about 20.
Yeah.
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, Danny worked for me originally,
Right. Then he went to Indiana and
Yeah.
then he came back.
Yeah.
So what's been the impact of Vince and Danny joining
Oh,
the
big
business
time.
for you? Yeah, can you
I mean,
elaborate on
Because
that?
we're family
I don't
business.
know
And,
if
yeah.
JR here remembers, but in the beginning, which your dad know that, we didn't even have a fax machine.
Yeah.
We had nothing. I would get an order from California, for buckets.
Yeah.
Okay, and he would have to send a check in. I would have to wait till check clears, and then make it, and then send it in.
My,
Today,
yeah.
what today is,
Sure.
boom, 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 done.
Yeah.
So that, with the internet and with Vince especially, he's a whiz with that stuff, and that, a lot of guys pay online, just email and check. I don't know what.
So what's the structure currently with you and Danny and Vince? So it's you're a man in charge. No, what's the structure? How's it
nothing?
go? Yeah.
Well, I could be a jerk. I still own the business. I can be a jerk, and he'll do this, but that's stupid. They know more now with things that are going on today than I'll ever know. Right now, I just designed a few items.
Yeah.
You-
Yeah.
you
We've
do-
been working.
You're doing
I
a
love-
good job with them.
Yeah.
I made that chair. Shit, 30, 40 years ago, I made some of those buckets. Now they came back. How crazy is
Nice.
that? Make them a little bigger. You make them a little this.
Yeah.
A little schmaltz to it. And that's
So I want to talk a little bit about the dinette business in the day, right in the
well, you
80s,
had
because it was
right.
big. We had dinette, you had stores. That was how everybody sold their product in the dinette
Right.
stores.
That was unbelievable.
And then it transitioned to more the internet. Would you agree? I mean,
No, I think, well,
what do you see?
yeah, I did a lot of There's there was a lot of dinette stores in New York, New Jersey.
So it's going to the internet. What I'm seeing,
Yeah.
those stores are now e-commerce sites.
Well,
They're
right, yeah. Well, you know as much as I know.
Yeah.
When you went in and bought
not
a
that
dinette-
much. I don't know that much.
No, you know what the dinettes. I mean,
Yeah,
you
the
want to
dinettes,
say,
I
you
know
want
a
this
lot.
color,
Yeah,
you want
yeah,
this
I know
color, you
everything.
want
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Fine. Can't do that today. Right?
Why?
Well, because they're importing a lot of stuff, and when you import a lot of stuff, you don't have a choice. You have a choice, but what do you do? Overstock and pick 4 colors and bring them in, and you get stuck with them.
Yeah.
Well, you remember the dinettes.
Oh.
You pick the tabletop, you pick the size.
I was picking up a truckload of stuff from you 2-3 times a week. 2-3 times a week with our bases, your buckets, and the tables. We went nuts. It was a busy
I
time.
think Steve just closed.
Yeah. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, in Lombard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
We
fascinating.
had 50
Yep.
dinette stores in Chicago.
50.
In the 80s? When would that have been?
Yeah,
Bronx?
70s, 80s.
Okay, 50.
Yeah. and-
Where did all that go? That's the question. That's what I was trying.
Probably
I
the
think it
internet.
went internet.
Yeah.
Not the same.
Well,
A
yeah,
different version
and
of
there's
it.
IKEA, whatever that is.
Right.
They,
IKEA,
they do
Big
it, and
ones.
these other, when a guy. So say you want to buy dinette today, where will you go?
Yeah.
Unless you go to the big guys, William Smith,
Sonoma.
Walter
E. Smith.
you can
Walter E.
customize
Smith.
it. You're
Yeah.
talking 16,
really?
18 weeks, but
Okay.
you can get what you want.
Yeah.
The color you want, the size you want.
Interesting.
But the 6, well, they might bring it
Yeah,
in,
yeah, yeah.
or they make it. I don't know where they get it.
So with the interest of time, we need to wrap it up here. Is there any kind of closing comments or any takeaways?
I would just like to hear a closing comment from you, Jerry, on where you see Regal structure wise going for with your kid, with your 2 sons, and just kind of close with that, where you see that going. And
Well,
and
Danny's getting up there in age too, so I don't know how long he wants to stay, but it's up to him. I think he'll stay around business till he's younger. The business has been good the last 8-10 years.
Yeah.
It's been good. It's growing, and luckily we moved with the times.
You have very well.
We didn't stay here. We went forward, and that's what you got to do. Okay. I'm not looking to expand right now. I don't think it's a good time. We don't know what's it's tough out there now. We don't know
Yes.
what's
The uncertainty.
the program is with our politicians. We don't know. It's one thing. As far as looking ahead, I really don't know. I just, like I said, you look at these commercials. There's a lot of 4-legged might not come back. Some bullet-shaped backs coming back. I see that, which we made years ago. I think it might come back to paint. Painted frames.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one I got in mind, you don't have.
Well,
Sorry.
we
let us
could
know
get
what
it.
it is.
Yeah,
We could get
I'll
it.
let you know.
We'll make it.
I'll let you know.
I would
Well,
like
awesome.
I would like to say, appreciate working with you guys over the years.
Oh,
I work
yeah.
really close with
Yeah.
Danny.
Yeah.
I work close with you. I just want to, just say, appreciate, the longevity of our
That's
our
amazing.
business relationship, and
we
it's just been great.
greatly appreciate your
Amazing.
business and
Well,
the
you-
strategic partnership that's been established through the needs of both parties
Yeah.
has been great. This really went
Yes.
fast. What
Yeah,
do you think?
really.
I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
what I want to say is we'd love to have you back if you're interested. Now that you're going to be a raging
I don't know
star
what I
on
can
the
say. What do you want me
on
to
the
say?
internet, and so it's going to be hard to control all the inflow of comments and appreciation.
Yeah.
But you were
But the closing comment that I have is that I've worked with you very closely for
Yep.
many, many years. Okay.
Yeah.
And I enjoy interacting with you because the experience and knowledge. And we last couple of them, I called you. Hey Jerry, I want to come out and see you. What, I do something wrong? He said, no, I just want to hang out with you. I want to talk with you. Remember? I'm joking, but I see where we are right now with the industry. I know where we've been. We spent a lot of time talking about it today. But what Regal does and what Trendler does, the opportunities for us together in the future, and I see it as e-commerce and I see it as residential furniture, okay, chairs, bar stools, is like it was in the 80s, a renaissance. And it's taken place because of the importing is changing. It's always going to be a part, but we have things that people don't together. We have things we can do
Right.
that a lot of folks can't do. And I'm going to want to talk to you more about that. And I feel it's the future could be better than the best times we ever had in the 80s with what we do right now. 100%. And it would be through e-commerce,
Yes.
Well,
not brick and mortar, although we'll
So-
take
so-
the brick and mortar
Yeah.
business.
Well,
With the
Got
interest
that.
of time, what
I
I'd like
would-
to do is
I need
closing
a
comment.
final-
Yep, yeah, right.
comment. I want to thank you for 62 years that we have worked together.
well done.
And we've been through a lot. We've been through the good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
we survived it.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you. I want to thank Vince. I want to thank
Danny.
yes, on all the business that we've done together and more business that we will do. And it's great. And you guys are our oldest customer.
Yeah.
We don't have
Oh,
anybody
yeah.
else
I'll
that's
bet.
older than
I'll
that.
bet.
No.
And maybe you could say the same about us.
Oh yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Who,
So, anyways,
they're all
a
out
big
of business.
thanks.
Yeah.
A big thanks.
Shout out to Danny and
Danny and
Vince.
Vince.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I
Thank
want
you.
to. I want to say one thing to comment on what you're talking about.
Mhm.
The only thing I see problem,
Mhm.
hate to say it, but is freight.
Mhm.
Okay, and freight controls where we can sell. I can't sell California anymore. I can't sell Florida anymore. Friend of mine, Toronto, the bakery guy,
Yeah.
he ordered 5 parcels for me. The freight's $450 for 5 parcels
Where's he at?
in Florida.
So let's dominate a 200-mile radius of Chicago.
There you
There's
go.
plenty of business there for us
I
where
agree.
nobody can touch us.
I agree.
I
I mean,
would
you go
say-
from Minnesota.
Forget
to
about
Indiana.
California. Forget about Florida.
I had to say that because I think that's going to change if we start to go a little sour with the economy. It did before, and the trucking entities will have to bow to us.
So
They
so,
do, otherwise they'll go out
right.
of business.
Heck, I delivered the stuff in my van. I'll deliver his stuff again. You and I can go deliver stuff and make sales calls. What do you
So
think?
I think there's
Right.
clearly
There you go.
clearly a lot of material, clearly a lot of history. My closing comment is I think it would be great for us, Vince, Danny, yourself, to get together, have some meetings, discussion about the industry, kind of behind closed doors, have these discussions to kind of get some real great wellspring of ideas. We have so much experience together. So that would be my closing comment. So that being said, thank you. This concludes another episode of Brothers, Battles and Bounty. And that being said, please continue to watch us on all of the
LinkedIn, Facebook,
YouTube.
Instagram.
Yes, and subscribe. We greatly appreciate subscribers. You have any comments, questions, please contact us. We will respond promptly.
You can call us too.
Yeah.
Yes,
we
absolutely.
are just under 1 million views. We could surpass 1 million views in another 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, we'll definitely do it after this podcast.
Don't let me down, man. I'm counting on you. Okay?
Awesome. Well, thank you. Till next time. We
Take care.
appreciate it. Yep. Bye.
Got to thank my wife.
Oh, nice
What
call.
she went through.
Way to go.
What she went through is impossible. How she went through me. I was never home.
Hey, can we put a little
Never home.
Can we say something to your wife now?
Jenny, you're the best, Jenny. We know each other from grammar school, and we're married 60. I take my apology for all the Friday nights I went out.
Amen.
I love you.
Attaboy.
She don't believe it.
Hold on, I'm taking notes. That was good.
He doesn't believe it.